How do you feel about friends switching to Android? Honestly, the friendship usually ends there. What's going on, guys? This is Sam, and today I want to do another question and answer video. It's been a second since my last one. I think I say that every time going forward. I promise I will try to do these more regularly because you guys seem to really enjoy them. And question and answer videos are just one of my favorite parts about watching YouTube and YouTubers in general. So let's go ahead and get started. What do you think about the leaked macOS 10.14 dark mode? I just hope it means that we're going to see dark mode on iOS soon. I think it'll be great on the Mac. I have a Mac. I have an iMac and a MacBook Pro, but I still want to see it on my iPhone. I want to see it on my iPad. It's sort of already ever present on the Apple Watch, but Apple, at this point, just let us have dark mode. It's the #1 request of all time, and I just want to see it. All-time favorite snack food, I'm going to have to go with Whales. They're just the better version of Cheez-Its in every way. If you've never had them, I'm not sure if there is big of a brand. They're made by Stouffer's as like Cheez-It is. I think that's made by Sunshine. But Whales, you should definitely try because they're just really tasty and really cheddary and truly amazing. They've changed my life. Do you think we're going to see the same iPhone 10 design for the next coming iPhone? I think we are. That's what all the rumors have indicated, that we're going to see 3 versions basically of this design where you have the notch at the top, no home button, bezel-less. I think it's going to be really great too because you're going to have a 6.1-inch lower end, more affordable LCD version, another version of the iPhone 10, the second generation iPhone 10, and then the iPhone 10 Plus with the 6.5-inch display. It's going to be incredible, and I am super excited for this year's lineup. Speaking of Apple's lineup, other than the iPhones, what are you looking forward to seeing from Apple product-wise this year? I'm really looking forward to AirPower, which I know is weird. It was a product that I had zero interest in right off the bat, but the hype has just been gradually building for me since it was announced back in September of 2017. I like the idea of being able to charge more than 1 or 2 devices at the same time. I think this device can charge up to 3. All the marketing materials show it with like an iPhone 10, an Apple Watch, and then an AirPods wireless charging case. I think that would be super, super cool, so I can't wait to see that. I'm also dying to get my hands on the bezel-less 2018 iPads. Here are just a couple renders that we've seen. We hear it's going to be like a mix of the traditional iPad and the iPhone 10 with Face ID, with a nearly bezel-less design. Cannot wait to see how that turns out because I think these iPads are going to be really big. Where can I buy hoodie merch, and what are your goals for your channel in the future? How's iPhone 10? Congrats on 90K. Hoodie merch got discontinued because it was just not a great design and I wasn't a huge fan of it, so I took it off the store. You can, however, go over to shop.iupdateos.com, buy this cool shirt or like 6 or 7 others that I have on there right now. Merch is a project that I've had a lot of fun with, because it allows me to like get creative with something a little bit different outside of just traditional videos, and your support there has been incredible, and I really appreciated that because it's a channel that doesn't get 4 trillion views every month. It helps to bring in extra money to buy new phones and to buy new products and to review things and to keep the lights on and get the latest tech to make the videos really great. So I really appreciate that. Question also touched on what my goals were for the future. I really, really want to do YouTube full time. It's okay to work for other people, but being my own boss and setting my own schedule is just something that is really, really important to me. I'm prepared to get a full-time job in a 1.5 years when I graduate college if I have to live so I don't end up on the streets. But I'm really hoping that I hit a huge growth spurt and work with more sponsors and make more money in the next 1.5 years or 2 years, just so I can afford to do this in the future. What is the most important feature Apple needs to add to iOS 12? Well, besides dark mode, I think it's what Apple is already doing. We're hearing a very stable and bug fix oriented update rather than hundreds of new features and a lot of issues, which is for a lot of people what iOS 11 was. Well, my experience was really great. I've talked about that a lot because I was using the iPhone 8 and the iPhone 10 and the newest iPad. iOS 11 worked really well traditionally on those devices, but if you had an older phone like an iPhone 5S or an iPhone 6, it didn't really work that great. And I think Apple in the next year really needs to just focus on, in addition to making iOS 12 really great for the iPhone 10 Plus and those latest devices, make it really great on the iPhone 6 and the iPhone 6S, which are a little bit older but devices that a ton of people still use. I believe this is referring to iOS 12. Do you think Apple should add a few changes and features along with performance and stability? I think they should, and I believe that they are. There's no way that iOS 12 is only going to be focused on stability and performance improvements, and while that is probably going to be the overall theme of iOS 12, we've heard that there could be like FaceTime, group FaceTime, or emojis in FaceTime. If you missed my videos on iOS 12 in the past, I'll leave them linked up in the top right-hand corner of the screen. As small of an update as it is, I'm still really excited for it, and stay tuned for coverage on iOS 12 whenever it is released. What's your cam mic setup for filming? That is actually a great question, so let me just go ahead and turn on my iPhone and show you. So right here is a Lumix GH5, one of my favorite pieces of tech ever. The autofocus is still a little bit sketchy, but I got a 12-35 from Panasonic on there, and this is a really great lens for a Panasonic camera. Some of the best autofocus that I've ever gotten. Up here is my XLR import thing, so let me switch over to this side. 2 XLR inputs on it, so I've got one coming from my mic, and then if I wanted a secondary audio source, I could also route that in here. This all goes into this little box right here, which is about $300, $400, a little bit expensive, but then it routes right in through the hot shoe on my camera, and all the audio capture takes place in body, which is fantastic. This is one of the most underrated microphones on the market. The Aperture Deity does a really great job of capturing audio, and the sound definitely rivals Sennheiser's MKH416 that's $999 or $1,000. This one's only about $200 or $300. So if you want a really good microphone and you're getting into serious YouTube content creation or just serious content creation in general, this has been a great setup for me. Being able to have this pick up my audio just above my head where I'm sitting and then route that into this little box right here made by Panasonic into the GH5 has been incredible. And then it has the flip around screen as well, which really helps me. What was your first ever YouTuber you subscribed to? Do you still watch them today? I really wish I could go back and check. Fun fact, my parents didn't let me watch YouTube until I was like 12 or 13 years old. And I always wanted to create a channel. I always wanted to make videos. But I think in 2012, 2013, 2014, whenever Black Ops 2, Call of Duty Black Ops 2 was like the big game coming out, I started watching Allier, and I think Allier was the very first channel that I subscribed to, and I'd always been interested in technology. So down the road, I found Everything Apple Pro and iDownload blog when Jeff Benjamin was still there. I don't think, 9 to 5 Mac didn't have a YouTube channel. I still watch them a lot today. But Austin Evans, Marquez Brownlee, Jonathan Morrison, they were all making videos back in the day, and I started watching them years ago, and I still watch their stuff today because they make really great videos, and you guys should check out all of them if you haven't already. But I think my very first was Allier. He's totally 180 to Fortnite now and is doing insane. Like, his channel was sort of plateauing with Call of Duty, and it's exploded with Fortnite. He's doing some great stuff there. If you like Fortnite, that's great. Unpopular opinion, I know this is going to freak you out. I don't care about Fortnite. I don't think it's that fun of a game. So if you're into Fortnite, go ahead and check him out. I still watch him for the Call of Duty videos that he does make, but I'm not going to lie, I probably haven't clicked on a video in some time. Thoughts on different color iPhones? I think you're referring to probably like the Product Red lineup. I really like Product Red. I think it looks great. I really wish Apple would offer those colors at launch so that people can buy them in September or October of the previous year. It's a great way to like get people a little bit more excited about the iPhone 8 lineup, and I'm still patiently waiting for Product Red or another color like maybe Product Blue to come to the iPhone 10. Telosive Tech did a great Q&A the other day and was talking about the possibility of a Telosive colored or Product Blue iPhone, and I think that'd be a really good idea because this phone looks incredible. Is the iPod Touch lineup dead, or could you see Apple releasing an updated version at some point? I really hope it's not dead because the iPod Touch is an amazing product, and I think Apple's R&D team and Apple's vision as a company in general is going away from the best products for people and really focusing on what's going to make the most money. And I've noticed that just in general in recent years, they're getting more and more money hungry because Tim Cook is all about making investors happy. And at the end of the day, that is sort of what a CEO's job is. It's to make investors happy and to give people great returns. But the reason I love the iPod Touch lineup so much in the first place is because it was inexpensive and most people could afford it. I know $100 or $200 is still a lot of money for a lot of people, but it was accessible, and it let anybody that had never used an Apple product before get involved with Apple and get involved with the iOS ecosystem. And that's how I got my start with Apple. My first ever Apple product, I think, was an original iPod Nano, and then I got the iPod Touch second generation. I think it was 8 or 16 gigabytes, and love that product to death. That product changed my life because it made me really interested in technology and really interested in Apple, and more importantly, really interested in iOS. I hope we see an iPod Touch 7. I made a video a few days back talking about how new Apple products are coming out soon, probably new iPhone SE 2s in particular, but a lot of you suggested that maybe instead of all like 11 of these products being iPhone SE 2s, they could be iPod Touch 7s. I would be so down for that. You can definitely count on videos here whenever, if ever, an iPod Touch 7 is released, because I want that device just as much as many of you want it. This is a good one. What will you do to celebrate 100K? It's so close. I've been waiting to get 100K forever. It was a goal that I never thought I would hit a few years ago, and now it's becoming a reality, and I cannot Cannot wait to hit that goal. I've got a lot of ideas. I haven't settled on anything just yet. So if you have any suggestions for me, something that you would like to see, leave a comment down below, go crazy, suggest something ridiculous, and who knows, it might end up happening. Those are going to be all the questions that we have time for today. If your question didn't make it, I'm sorry. I try to read and get to most, but make sure to follow me on Twitter at iupdateos for whenever I do my next question and answer video. If you enjoyed watching, if you learned something new about me, if you learned something new about yourself, hit like down below. That always helps me out. And of course, hit subscribe for more videos you want to see like this in the future. If you do want to help support the channel, you can head over to shop.iupdateos.com. That would be amazing. I've been Sam. I hope all of you are doing great, and I'll talk to you in my next video.